He's going to get knocked spark out if he catches them clean.
This is Jonathan Agger, 5th Pro Boxing Fans, joined by Spencer Oliver here at the first press conference for Dan Azeez, Joshua Buatsi. Spencer, you're here again. Another week, another press conference.
I am, mate. We're just coming off the back of the Anthony Joshua fight week, which always nutty weeks, aren't they, man? It's like non-stop work. Even on the night I was doing I'm doing a brunch in the Slug and Lettuce, then we done the fight, then I'm doing something in the Intercontinental. Woke up Sunday like a space cadet, mate. And we're starting again. We're going all over again with a great fight, this, by the way. Trade fight, man. Anyone that knows boxing knows that this is a great fight. Love the history between these two. You know, Buatsi was the kid that everyone looked up to. 2016 Olympic bronze medalist. Dan Azeez was like really just starting out on his journey. And Dan Azeez has done it the old school way, the hot, you know what I mean? Where I love that as well. You know what I mean? Like Southern area, English, British, Commonwealth, European. Worked his way through the ranks and developed on the job. Learned his trade on the job, man, and now they're fighting. You go, if you would have asked me, like, I don't know, 18 months ago, who wins this fight, I don't think it was a conversation. Now you go, wow, it's a real 50-50 fight. Love this fight.
On that, I was looking at the odds, and the bookmakers have got Buatsi quite a big favourite over Dan Azeez. Does that surprise you?
Yeah, it does, big time. Well, you know what I mean. If you're a gambling man, you go, you lump heavily on Aziz then, don't you? Because I think it is one in fights. You go, look, you don't know how this is going to unfold until it unfolds. Do you know what I mean? We're all going to have an opinion on how this fight goes and who we think is going to win. But it is generally one of them fights where you go, it's a real 50-50.
I mean, you know, you say like 18 months ago, people might have not have even seen this as a close fight, but is it fair to say Aziz has got the momentum going into this?
Absolutely, Aziz has got the momentum, because, you know, Buatsi's had a couple of lacklustre performances where he's looked slightly sluggish, if I'm totally honest, in his last couple of performances, and Aziz is going from strength to strength. Do you know what I mean? He's done it on the road, man, winning European titles out in France, and like he does it on the road. And yeah, there's momentum with Aziz at the moment, definitely, but that doesn't make him. Yeah, listen, I'm surprised he's a huge underdog, if I'm honest, because it is, like I say, like, if you know, you know, and I know that this is a great fight.
The winner of this fight fights who, Spencer?
Well, they're WBA. Buatsi's WBA number 1, isn't he? Aziz is WBA number 2. Dimitri Bivol's the champion. So that's where they're looking to go. That's where they want to go. I mean, there's other fighters out there and other fights out there as well, like Anthony Yard. I'd love to see that fight with the winner of this versus Anthony Yard. So who knows where the winner goes? They're looking for a world title shot. Obviously, the loser, by the way, it's not career over. Both undefeated. The loser can go and rebuild again. You know what I mean? I think that it's just a great trade fight. But I'd love to see one of them, the winner in with Anthony Yard. I think that's a great fight if they can't get the Dimitri Bivol fight. So let's see what happens.
I mean, you're on the inside, and you know, do you think that fight can happen with Yard? Are the promoters going to sit down and say, let's make this fight?
Well, why not, mate? Why not? Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, I think it sort of makes sense. It makes sense definitely for the fight fans, and I think that, you know, they could go to purse bids with it. I don't really know where it would go, but I think that all the promoters could, sit down and talk. Why shouldn't it? You know, why should politics get in the way of the fight? Because it's a fight that everyone wants to see, and the fight fans want to see. So I'd love to see it, yeah.
And then let's talk about on Saturday night, Joshua knocking out Robert Helenius. What was your assessment of the performance? First of all, a lot of people were mixed. Some said, why didn't he get rid of him earlier? Did Deontay Wilder create like a thing where everyone just wanted him to get him out of there in the first round?
Listen, if whoever Deontay Wilder hits when they're coming onto the shots is going to get knocked spark out if he catches them clean. Do you know what I mean? And Joshua's got to be prepared to do that going into that fight. The fight that's going to happen. I think that what's his name was over, wasn't he? Prince Khalid was over for skills challenge. So that fight is going to happen probably in January time. But Joshua's got to be prepared to get knocked out or get the knockout going into that fight. And I think that's why that showreel knockout that he got is going to give him the confidence that he needs going into the Wilder fight. But look, you're always going to get your haters and people that are, you know, like they were even booing on the night actually because like Joshua wasn't doing what he said. I think he grew in confidence as the fight unfolded. Do you know what I mean? When he started throwing his shots when the first and second round, he was sort of like leaning away from the shots or not committing with his feet. But as the rounds went, he was in control. I spoke to him about this and he said, listen, I've learned from my mistakes of the past of being reckless. You can't be reckless at this stage. Helenius is dangerous, especially with that right hand. He was fresh off a victory and he looked good, to be fair, Helenius. But what Joshua's learnt is to not be reckless. We wanted to see him putting his his shots together more. I still wanted to see him putting his shots together better, but he was controlling the space of the fight. Do you know what I'm saying? So he felt that he was always going to win the fight. It was always about just waiting for that right opportunity, and he took it in the 7th round. Yeah, people wanted to see. You're always going to get compared with Wilder, of course you are, but I think what Joshua's taken from that is that he would have taken a lot of confidence from that because he needed the knockout there. Do you know what I mean? He needed that to go into the Wilder fight, and now he's just got to be prepared to go to war, because you can't be boxing on the back foot with Wilder. We saw, if you use as an example, you boxed when Wilder boxed Tyson Fury the first time. Fury was boxing a little bit more on the back foot. It was a harder fight. He allowed Wilder to, you know, he's very explosive with his feet and whatnot, but when Fury bullied him and put him on the back foot, it was a different fight. Joshua's got to be prepared to go in there and take the fight to Wilder, because that's how he wins the fight.
Tony Bellew said, and so did David Hay, that they feel that he needs another fight before Wilder. Your colleague Johnny Nelson just said to me that he doesn't think the fight happens next. What do you think? Does he need another fight? Listen,
ideally, he still, he could do with possibly another fight, but do I think that happens? No, I think Wilder's next. I think, but he needed that. He needed that victory in the manner that he won that fight. He needed that going into the Wilder fight. Look, he's ready, mate. Do you know what I mean? You got. I don't think he gets enough respect on his name for his journey, where he's come from, where he's got to, like world silver, Olympic gold, 2-time world champion. You know what I mean? Like, but his journey and the kids that he's inspired along the way from his story. Do you know what I mean? He should be. That's a legacy on its own. And he's at the stage now where he's going, well, listen, mate, I'm looking to become a 3-time world champion. So, you know, I've got to go into. He's in the twilight of his career. He's probably got like 2 years left of his career anyway. So the Deontay Wilder fights, to create legacies and cement eras, you need Joshua to fight Wilder, Joshua to fight Fury. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need them all to fight each other, and that's what creates eras and legacies. So he's ready now, man. Yeah, put him in. Why not?
Final question, and then we'll finish up. If Joshua fights Wilder now, does he knock him out? And if so, why?
Well, I think he does fight him now, because I think it's going to happen. I do think it's going to be in January. And look, I'm a supporter of Anthony Joshua. I'm a fan of Anthony Joshua. I love his journey. I love where he's come from. Do you know what I mean? I've got a personal friendship with the guy. Do you know what I mean? So I'm always going to support him and say, yeah, listen, if, as we saw on Saturday night, if Anthony Joshua hits anyone on the chin, they're going to sleep. That is a fact, right? And he's got to be prepared to get knocked out to do that as well with Deontay Wilder. But as we know, Wilder can be hit as well. So yeah, I'm going with Joshua, man. Yeah, of course I am.
So just plug your new podcast with Johnny Nelson. Tell us what it's about and how do people watch it?
We have started a new YouTube show called The First Bell. Go and have a look at it, like it, subscribe to it, more importantly, and watch it. Yeah, it's a good show, man. We started last week. We're doing another one today, actually. It comes out on Wednesday, maybe, something like that. So yeah, check it out.
Once a week, every week.
Yeah, it's going to be once a week, and it's going to be like sort of like raw and uncensored. If I'm totally honest, we're going to be brutally honest about, you know, fights, fighters, and what's going on in the world of boxing. So yeah, check it out.
I'll leave a link in the description to that. Best of luck with that, Spencer, and appreciate your time.